Hey everyone, it's Ryan 1940 here, and today we're taking a look at Sea Power Naval Combat in the Missile Age. This is the Barney Incident, which is made by Wolfpack345. You might have heard of him. He is a big YouTuber that covers Sea Power among other games, and he's made this mission for you to play. It's on the workshop. This mission is pretty cool because it's just bad weather ASW. So start off in the search area. We already got everyone's radars going. We've got a Nox class. The cook over here also has got its radars going, active sonar going. Active sonar is also going here on the Barney. We got a waypoint here, but we're not going to follow that. Wanted to show you guys something to help you do searches if you know there's a search area you need to cover. So we can, kind of like with that P3 in the Operation Intercept video, you can draw out the range rings of the sensors, and so you can kind of have an idea of your coverage. So look at the unit reference here, the SQS-23, 18 kilometers and 7 kilometers. So that's roughly 3.78, so 3.8 for active and 9.7 for passive. Stuff like that though, I wish that we just had a thing that we can turn on and it would just show you the sensor ranges. So yeah, the passive range is going to be 9.7 we said. And then we want 3.78, so 3.8, that's good enough, yep. Okay, so in the best conditions, when the environment is ideal, we can kind of imagine that this would be our coverage with passive and this would be our active coverage. Now, you saw the lightning there, it's stormy. There's a lot of rain. All that stuff makes a lot of noise in the ocean. The waves make a lot of noise in the ocean. You smashing through the waves produces a lot of flow noise along the hull. So all these things kind of degrade the performance of the sonar. So we're not gonna, if we get lucky with a passive contact in this range, that's great. But we're just gonna work off this this inner circle here. So I'm going to draw this out like that. Kind of draw this out like that. Alright, and so we're gonna have Barney just kind of search this way. And this will be us searching. Okay, so you can imagine in two swaths, two swaths here, we can get a lot of coverage. Now there's gonna be bits where we accept that we're not fully, checking that out, and that's just the nature of the business. You kind of have to, if you were to try to do 100% coverage, it would just take way too long. So the idea is Barney's going to start going this way, searching passively and actively with its hull-mounted sensor, and then we're going to get the helicopter here, and the helicopter is going to start doing sonobuoy drops up here while we wait for the detection of our first submarine. There was a guy who, he was an Aztec, and he told me he uses 5 nautical miles as the range for the sonobuoys. The range for the sonobuoys is not listed anywhere in the unit reference. If we went here, no ranges, so I think he said he's found it to be like 4 point something nautical miles, but he's worked with the 5.0 and that seems to work for him. So an Aztec, if you don't know, they're the guys on the ship. They're usually an operations specialist. They sit in combat and they tell the helicopter where to go. They say fly to this point, drop sonobuoys at this spot, and yeah, basically control him. And that's what that guy did, so that's pretty neat. We can see here, trying to get the most out of this here. I think that's good enough. Yeah, that's alright. Alright, so we'll drop we could also drop a sonobuoy back here just to cover that spot. Now the sonobuoys in this game, they only, let's say if we're working to try and get this coverage here, the sonobuoys in this game, they only go 1 hour in duration, but in real life you can look it up on the manufacturer's website. It's public knowledge that's out there for people that actually sell sonobuoys to the government or different navies. You can set it to 8 hours, you can set it to like 4 hours, and there's 2 other positions. I don't remember exactly what those times are. I think one is 1 hour, but I'm not sure what the third position is. But on the sonobuoys, just a selector switch. So these guys are fully capable of being, they should be in the game for 8 hours if you wanted. But they are not. They only do 1 hour in this game, and they will scuttle themselves when they're done. Okay, so 3 sonar buoys plus the Barney, that covers the whole search area, really. There's only small slivers where we wouldn't be able to see, and it's unlikely that the sub is going to be hiding in there forever, and they'll probably come out of the slivers if they were in there and become detected at some point. Alright, so the helicopter's entering the area soon. We can just go like this, and like that, and like this. And it's really cool. You can just drag and move these over to those spots to get that fully correct. Okay, speed that up. Cook is still closing. Once Cook gets closer, we'll slow her down. She's going pretty fast at the moment. Oh, no. Oh, man. Okay. Our circles didn't attach to the Barney, so that sucks. Okay, the big circle did. Let's get, this was, what was this guy? 3.78, 3.78. There we go. Okay, alright. This is pretty dangerous. A submarine just popped up right here. We'll drop a sonar buoy on it. See, that's really close to Barney, 3.6 miles. Barney needs to get out of there really quickly. Just gonna have to go flank. I need to build the space. Okay, it's a hostile submarine. We'll just have the helicopter kind of loiter around here. See what develops. So this guy's going 10 knots. Barney is building space. That's good. Okay, it's a November class submarine. It's the SSN, and it's turning towards Barney. Is it going to fire? It's not. Okay. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, we can slow this guy down. Oh, we won't slow him down yet. I brought it up in an older video where we were saying, you know, kind of keep your search speed up 2/3, because that's about anywhere from, what, 12, 13 knots or so. At a submarine, it's not going to go too fast. They can go fast. I mean, SSNs can go fast underwater. But even the diesel boats, the diesel electric ones, they can go quicker underwater, but they tend to stay around 10 knots or less because they don't want to cavitate. If they're doing that and you're going 13, 14 knots, they could never close you, right? Unless they had the perfect geometry with you. For the most part, you can control that, and you can also go faster if you need to avoid that. So this situation's kind of great because we know where he's at, and if we wanted to fully evade him, then we totally can do that at ease now with our speed. So I think I need to let this guy shoot at me for the scenario to develop. But you can see if we were conducting this as a search plan where we didn't have to wait until we're fired upon, you know, we found the sub before he could find us, essentially. We're banging away on active, but we still found him. And it was pretty effective. We could kill him at this moment if we were not restrained by the ROE. So definitely use all the assets you got, use all the sensors you got if the weather conditions are really crappy. If everything was kind of nice and clear and smooth and stuff like that, I'd probably just... It depends. I'd opt to go passive and stay passive. If my tail ships, if I had a few tail ships, if I didn't have a lot of tail ships, then I'd be forced to go active and use the sensors. Okay, well, I think I'm going to have to close them because I think this scenario is just not going to progress, so we'll try to do something funny here. It's not realistic. We're going to close them so he can shoot at us. want to close him enough that I could actually get an ASRock shot off on him and see what would happen. So for us to use our ASRock, we got to get within 6 nautical miles of the submarine. He's zigzagging around here, going back and forth, snaking. There he goes. Okay. Not quite ASRock range, but we can fire one off. Okay, this goes 6 nautical miles. I think he's almost at 8 nautical miles. So we'll launch a torpedo. Mark 46 on top of that goes, I think, 8 nautical miles in the game, so it can run out that way. Okay, and so we're going to fire that. We'll drop our noisemaker, and then we'll just run the other way. Now, we need to draw out put that in front of him just to get safe with the numbers. So 5365 torpedo can go 10.3 nautical miles. Put that over Barney. So as long as Barney gets past this point, we're going to be safe. I have the helicopter here, so I can just drop on this guy, but we'll see what happens with Barney's counterfire. So I really want to try and get an ASRock kill. If I had the helicopter here, I mean, I could totally kill him really quickly with 2. But the mission said that, you know, we had to be mindful that we were probably in a wolf pack of Soviet submarines, so the chances are there that we can come across another submarine. So if that's the case, we can try to use the weapon systems that are almost in range and preserve the use of the helicopter dropped weapons for some other guys. Now, I kind of want to drop another sonobuoy around here just so we have some coverage. Probably here's good. Alright, this thing is so cool. So for the submarine, you got to think, he doesn't know that we did this, right? If we fired an over-the-side torpedo, it's going to run out 8 nautical miles. But he's going to eventually pick it up as it's running towards him, and then he's going to react to that. The beauty of the ASRock is that you get that extended range, but also if you're really close to the contact within the range, it kind of just drops on his head, and he's like, oh crap, there's a torpedo in the water all of a sudden. It's essentially like doing it with a helicopter, but you've been able to do it from a ship. So that's pretty cool if we can get this guy to run. So we'll drop another sonobuoy here, and we'll see how long the detection lasts. Okay, so Barney's still running to that point. Needs to get out that way, and then we can come back into the fight. Alright, Cook, I just want to speed up to get into the area. Alright, we'll see how this plays out. Okay, the Mark 46 did not... It's not tracking, okay. It's totally fine. Do it the old-fashioned way with the airdrop torpedo. Alright. I was kind of attracted to the noisemakers there. Okay, looks like Barney is going to be safe. Oh man, is this, let's see here. Circling around the November. Okay, I think this is gonna be it. Just kind of trying to creep along here, and the torpedo's locked onto her stern, so she's not reacting. It's I guess she's blinded by it being directly in her baffles, which is amazing. There it is. Oh man, yes. Alright, screws have stopped turning. Let's see if she comes down to 0 knots. Yeah, she's going dead in the water. Barney, let's come this way and come back into the fight. Alright, so she's released her crew and now she's going down. Cool. That's one submarine. There was a wolf pack threat, so we need to be mindful of that. Okay, I don't want you to actually do that. Sorry, buddy. Slow her down to 2/3. Alright, we don't really have good sonobuoy coverage in this spot here, so we'll figure out an area to fill in. Oh, it's going by the wreck. Sorry, buddy. Oh, okay. Another torpedo or another submarine popped up here. Alright, so one of the sonobuoys picked him up. "17 nautical miles from Cook," so Cook is still pretty safe. Got one Mark 46 on board. We're going to have to use this. It's going to have to count. Drop a sonobuoy in front of this guy, and then we'll hopefully get enough detection on him that we can ID it and then kill it. Now you can also you can use the MAD sensor by just setting the altitude to 20. Then you can just go right over the helicopter. Five knots, 290 feet in depth. This is weird. Normally if you do that it just says like magnetic anomaly, and it's not doing it for some reason. Okay, well anyways, that's enough messing around with this guy. We're just gonna kill this dude. Oh, we'll speed that up. Oh man, he's not reacting to this at all. Oh weird, he's just kind of diving like that. Interesting. Okay, so inevitably this is going to happen where you don't have a backup helicopter because oh, this is important, new passive track. What did they detect? New passive contact 7015. Who are they detecting? 7015. Oh wow, so the Barney way out there is detecting these noisemakers. Okay. Yeah, so I was saying, inevitably, if you've got a ship that can only carry one sonobuoy, you're going to, or one helicopter, sorry, you're going to have to go back to get more fuel or more torpedoes or whatever. So you might as well just dump the sonobuoys you have around the last contact you have, just to try to saturate the area and cover it while you head out. This guy is checking out a lot of noisemakers, and I don't think it's going to end well for him. No, yeah, alright, that's awesome. Okay, this hit is probably going to kill this guy. Foxtrot is a pretty light sub. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so spit out all these buoys. Yeah. Oh, never mind. All the Soviet submarines in the area have been destroyed, so that was pretty fun. I was really happy to fire at the guy with the ASROC. Unfortunately, didn't work. We had to use one torpedo to kill November, and luckily we got one hit on the Foxtrot with the remaining torpedo. I was gonna say, if let's just pause that there. If the scenario was continuing, if the Foxtrot didn't die, I would say if you're going to RTB, just saturate that area with the sonobuoys you have, if you've got the fuel for it. Or even if the fuel is dwindling, keep spitting out all the sonobuoys you can before you go back to get more fuel or torpedoes or whatever you needed, because you want to try to hopefully maintain that contact while you're gone. So you might as well ditch those sonobuoys and put them to good use before you leave the area. Now, this was pretty cool. I think the takeaway is that you can use all the sensors available to you. Sometimes, you know, just with the way the weather is, you might as well use active as well, even though it gives away your position. You saw there, it didn't really matter. The submarines, we detected them with our search plan. It was kind of effective. We were able to find them before they can detect us, even with us going active. So we were able to stay out of their danger bubble. We basically, to drive the scenario forward, we made it so that we can be shot at. But you saw there, I could, if I really wanted to, I could stay out of torpedo range and be safe the entire time. So yeah, that was a pretty cool one. Once again, that's the Barney Incident made by Wolfpack 345. It's available on the workshop. I'll post a link in the description, and I hope you guys get to enjoy it as much as I did. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.